While on a reconnaissance mission, a fighter jet accidentally discovered that the Indian military was secretly transporting heavy weapons toward the border. The pilot immediately realized the situation was critical and prepared to return to report to his superiors. However, the Indian forces had no intention of letting him escape so easily. In the next instant, a barrage of anti-mine aircraft fire erupted toward the aircraft. Despite the pilot's exceptional skills, the distance was too close. The fighter's fuel tank was punctured in an instant. Left with no choice, the pilot counterattacked. He sharply banked the aircraft and dove into a narrow mountain valley, catching the enemy by surprise. He maneuvered around to the front of the military train. Before the Indian soldiers could even react, the pilot decisively pressed the firing button. The missile struck the railway tracks with pinpoint accuracy. Seeing this, the Indian forces immediately initiated emergency braking, but the massive momentum prevented the train from stopping. Hearing the series of explosions behind him, the pilot piloted his aircraft away from the scene. However, the Indian ground-air defense quickly launched two missiles that locked onto the fighter, striking through the air. The pilots immediately pulled up hard, attempting to evade, but the missile speed was too great. Within moments, they were on his tail. Two fighters made a split-second decision to scatter and flee in different directions. Unable to shake off his pursuer, Jack piloted his aircraft at full throttle directly toward a mountain ridge. In the final moment before impact, he pulled the nose down sharply. The missile couldn't adjust its trajectory in time and crashed directly into the mountainside. Jack had barely a moment to celebrate when he heard his teammate's distress call. Another missile was still hot on his wingman's tail. Jack immediately instructed his teammate to jettison both external fuel tanks, then pressed the button to detonate them mid-air. The intense heat from the explosion successfully spoofed the missile seeker. Thus, both pilots successfully returned to base. They had expected their heroic actions to earn them commendation from their commanding officer. Instead, they received a stern rebuke. However, when the commanding officer saw the photographs Jack had taken, his face went pale. Jack suggested launching a preemptive strike, but the commanding officer insisted that India is a peace-loving nation and that they must adhere strictly to the principle of non-violent, non-resistance. Little did anyone know that as dusk fell and darkness descended, the entire Indian Air Force sortied D and began launching a relentless bombardment of the base.